Hey, this is Kenneth A. Finnan. It's my job to get you best this Series 7 exam and the SIE exam. A lot of people have problems with riskless principal versus net basis. So we're going to go through principal, we're going to go through riskless principal, we're going to go through net basis. A lot of different things to get through here. So let's get into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this shit. Time for school. Okay, so let's get into this shit. When you do trades, there's two ways a broker-dealer can do trades. Agency, where there's just a middleman. So remember, ABC, agent, broker, commission. A, B, C, agent, broker, commission. Okay, that is acting as an agent. So if you go to buy a house or something, I'm using an analogy. I try to use analogies all the time. If you go to buy a house, you're not buying the house from the realtor. The realtor, she's trying to find a seller for you. She's acting as an agent. She's a middleman, middle person, right? Middle woman, whatever. You say, I want to buy a house. These are what I want. She's going to find a person who's selling a house that is like that, and they will sell it to you. That person will sell it to you. You will buy it from that person, not the agent. The agent will just facilitate it, and they charge you a commission. They act as a broker. Agent, broker, commission. Same thing in broker-dealers. I call up, I want to buy shares at 50. They will go take my order, they'll take my little order, and go over there and say, we're going to buy shares at 50 for Ken. They will buy it at 50 or better, hopefully, and then they will charge me a commission, no more than 5%, because that's a guideline. In reality, anything over 3% is probably a problem, but 5% is the guideline that if it's more than that, we get in trouble. So again, agent is just a middle person, right? So there, you're giving them an order to buy, they take it, and they find a seller for you, and boom, they sell it to you. However, the other side of this is acting as a principal, acting as a dealer, a market maker. All those things kind of go together. Go together. I can't speak. PDM, principal, dealer, markup. So A, B, C, agent, broker, commission, PDM, principal, dealer, markup. We have to do this stuff to get to the rest of the stuff. Now, as a principal, this would be like if you went to go buy a house from a realtor and she sold you her house and marked it up. So if you say, oh, I want to buy a 3-bedroom colonial, she goes, oh, I happen to have a 3-bedroom colonial. So she sells it to you for $100,000. Funny, must be like the 1980s. Sells it to you for $100,000 plus $5,000 as a markup. She's marking it up to charge you more, and that's her commission. That's your commission, like a commission. It's really called a markup. Also, when you go to a restaurant and you order a bottle of wine, you know you're buying a $6 bottle of wine, but they mark it up to $20 because they own it. There it is. Now, that's principal. So again, if you're doing it on the broker-dealer side, it's this way. I give you an order to buy stock at 50. You go, ooh, I own it already. As a broker-dealer, we own it. We're going to sell it to you at $50 and charge you a markup, like, $1 or something like that. So you're going to see that you bought it for 50 and you paid $1 markup. Now, if you're going to sell, and we're using our inventory, the broker-dealer is selling it to you out of their inventory. Makes sense. Now, the other side is if you're selling stock, you go, look, I want to sell 1,000 shares at 50. They go, you know what? We'll just buy it from you. So they'll buy it from you at 50, but only pay you 49. They're marking it down. You sold it at 50. That's what your report will say. That's what your confirm will say. But it also say you have a markdown of $1. So you're really only getting 49. That would be your proceeds. And when you bought it, it'd be your cost basis. Ooh, connecting shit. Now, so again, when you buy stock and pay a commission or markup, the total is your cost basis. So when you buy stock at 50 and you pay a $1 commission or markup, your cost basis is 51. If you sell stock and you sell it at 50 and they charge you a $1 commission, you're only getting 49 because you sold it at 50 and you pay them $1, you're receiving 49. That's your proceeds. If you sell it at 50 and they do it as a principal, they're going to pay you 49 because they're going to buy it from you at 50 minus a $1 markdown, okay? Because sellers get a markdown, buyers get a markup. They're going to pay you 49. You're going to receive 49. That's your proceeds. So again, when you buy, it's cost basis. When you sell, it's cost basis. Cost. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Remember, when you buy, it's cost basis. When you sell, it's proceeds. Okay. Now, that's principal. Now, here's the thing. When they own the stock or they're short it because they're doing it as a position, that's called position trading, they have risk. Stocks go up, stocks go down. If I undo this, you're going to see some of the stocks maybe, right? If I take this off, maybe while I'm talking, you will see that I no longer have. You might see, oh, there it is, some stocks. These stocks go up and down all day long. So they go up and down. See, NVIDIA's down. So if they were long NVIDIA, they would be losing money. If they're short, they'd be making money maybe. So they have risk. So when broker-dealers hold positions to do trades for customers, there is risk that the stock could go up or down and they can lose money. So this is what happens with a riskless principal. Okay, so here's an example of riskless principal. Remember I said before, if a firm owns the shares on their own and just holds them either short or long, then they have risk that the stock goes up or down, and they either make or lose money based on their position and what happens. However, with riskless principal, this is the way it goes. They don't take a position until they get an order. So they don't have risk. They know my orders, they're supporting it. I give my broker-dealer an order to buy 1,000 shares of Microsoft. They go out and buy, Microsoft's trading at 412. I'll put it up here. They go out and buy the Microsoft at 412. So the broker-dealer, we'll call him Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, buys 1,000 shares at 412. Now that shows up on the ticker tape. That gets reported. They call it the tape. Buys 1,000 shares at 412. And it shows up on the tape. It's reported as a trade. So everyone knows, if you watch CNBC, that ticker tape that goes across the bottom, that's the tape. It gets reported. So then they buy it at 412. And then Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe turns around and sells it at, I'll say 413. So I'm a small markup, 413 to me. So they're going to sell it to me at 413. Now that doesn't get shown, okay? I did it and I bought it. So I paid $413. That's really 412 with a $1 markup. Okay. So that's what they're doing. Let me put dollars on to make it look good. Make it look sweet. So that's a markup. That's riskless principal, because the firm bought the shares knowing my order's there, so they don't have risk. They know they could sell it to me at the market and they're not going to lose money. So again, I give them an order, they buy it in the market, they turn around and sell it to me at my price plus a markup. So I really paid 413, which is 412 plus a markup. And on the confirmation, they have to disclose the markup. They have to, and they have to base it on that. Now, let me go into one quick thing on this. So if you see that the market is, the bid is 411 and offered it 412, right? So 12. So that's the market. 411 bid, 412. When they do the markup, they have to do it based on the offer. So if somebody's buying, they do the markup, how much they charge me based on the offer. So 412 is where I could have bought it. They bought it there, sold it to me at 413, charge a $1 markup. If there was seller, it would be based on this. So they would have bought it from me at like 410. It would have been 411. Let's show it. I give them an order to sell 1,000 shares of Microsoft. I don't have a price. They will then sell it at 411. And they're now short. And then they'll buy it from me at 410. So they make $1. They will sell it at 411, short it. Then they'll buy it from me at 410 and disclose the markup. So I will be selling it at 411 minus a $1 markup, which means I'll get 410 marked down. So they will pay 410 from me. I will receive 410, which is 411 minus a $1 markdown. That's literally how it goes. So if you buy, it's a markup. If it's a sell, it's a markdown. I might have said markup a couple of times, but make sure we got it. I offer to sell. They sell it at 411. They buy it back from me at 410, and that's really going to be 411 minus a $1 markdown. So buyers, if the customer buys, it's a markup. If the customer sells, it's a markdown. So now that's riskless principal. And on the confirmation, I have to show that $1 markdown or markup. It has to be on the confirmation. I have to know it's there. However, that's riskless principal. Net basis is a little different, and that I'm not going to disclose the markup or markdown, and it shows up as two trades. We'll get into that. Before I do a net basis trade, let me erase everything here. Before I do a net basis trade, what will happen is I have to, if it's a retail customer, I have to get permission to do it each and every time in writing. If an institutional, I can do what they call a negative consent letter, where I tell the institution, hey, we're going to be doing net basis trades. Are you okay with that? They don't say anything. Actually, I don't say okay. They go, we're going to be doing net basis trades. If you have a problem with that, let us know. So if we don't hear anything, then we assume they're okay with it. So that we have to get permission. If it's a retail customer, every time you do a trade, and net basis trade, you need permission. If it's an institutional, you get a negative consent approval when you open the account, and then you don't have to do it anymore. And the reason that there's an issue is because we're not going to disclose the markup or markdown. We actually had one. Let me do this story and then I'll tell you. So I get an order. I go to buy 1,000 shares of Microsoft. Okay. Now it's trading. We'll see, go back to that. Microsoft is trading at 412. Like the dollar signs, right? We always have to have those, not those things. $412. So the firm, then the broker-dealer, Dewey, Cheatham & Howe, will buy 1,000 shares at maybe less than 412, but we're going to say 412 for now, at 412, and that shows up on the tape. That is absolutely going to show up on the tape. So boom, it gets reported to the tape. It shows up on the ticker tape. Then they're going to turn around and sell it to me. Dewey, Cheatham & Howe sells to customer at 413. Now here, and that is also, that shows up as a trade also. So that's a second trade that shows up. So Riskless Principal, one trade shows up. On a net basis, both trades show up. So they're going to buy it at 412, sell it to me at 413, and they will not disclose anything. So that's the thing. All I will know is that I bought it at a net price of 413. I won't know anything. They made $1 profit. It's not really considered a markup, even though it is. It's considered a profit because they bought it at 412, sold at 413. They just tell me I bought it at 413. And if I'm a savvy investor, I will realize what happened, which is fine. I built that in. I knew it was going to be. I mean, literally no difference, except for I don't disclose it. That's why you need that permission ahead of time, because it's ripe for fraud, because you can maybe not tell them. So the story here is that when I was at GFI, I was running the one of these desks, and we had Goldman. Goldman had a trader. I guess one of their portfolio managers had a mandate or an edict that he could not pay commissions or markup markdowns. I think they did it so he would do all his trading in-house at Goldman. But there's always loopholes, right? Life will find a way. So we said we can do net basis trades. So literally he would go buy shares of Microsoft at 413 from us. We knew that was 412 plus a $1 markup. He sort of knew it was, but it didn't show up on the tape as that. On his blotter, it would show up as he bought 1,000 shares at 413 within $1 of where it was trading. So they didn't care. They didn't know, I guess. He wasn't fraud. It was a loophole and he used it. But the point was, that's why people do it, because they can't pay markup, markdowns, and stuff like that. So again, Riskless Principal. We take the order, we buy it. When we have an order, then we sell it back to the customer and we disclose the markup. One trade on the tape. If it's net basis, same thing. We buy it at a price, we turn around and sell it to the customer at a higher price. That's a profit. Two trades show up. Now, in reality, with the net basis, we could have already owned the shares. We could have owned them for weeks or days or whatever, and we just sell them at the less, a little bit higher than the less sale, build in our markup, which is not really markup, it's a profit, and we don't say anything, and they buy it at 413. Really, no difference, but there it is. Guys, if you like what I'm doing, please hit like, subscribe, and share this shit. And don't forget to check me out every Tuesday and Thursday night on the Tube of You, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We do a live Q&A, lots of fun. And we're out of here.